Hey there, it's Leona. Welcome to Zen Mindfulness Shodo. Today, we're gonna practice Shodo meditation while focusing on the Hiragana character for ku. So, let's begin our beautiful journey together. When you write a character, imagine a square about the size of the character that you are gonna write like this. First, I'm gonna write it. Then I'm gonna explain the points and tips for writing the character beautifully in detail. Alright, now I'm gonna explain the points and tips for writing this character beautifully. The stroke starts from a point, a little bit higher than the middle of the top half of the middle vertical line. It moves downward to the left, while curving down. The angle is about 60 degrees. Until a point, a bit lower than the middle horizontal line. It looks more beautiful when it gets thinner as it moves down until the turning point. Then it moves downward to the left, with the same thickness, all the way from the starting point to the turning point, like this. When it gets thinner until the turning point, you can better express the softness and curves that are unique to Hiragana characters. When it moves downward to the left with the same thickness, like this, entire character looks a bit like a typed character. So try creating the stroke by scooping downward to the left. Then it makes a turn here, and it moves downward to the right. When it turns here, if it makes a sharp turn like this, the beauty of curves and softness that are unique to Hiragana characters won't be effectively expressed. However, if you make a round turn like this, or like this, or this, the character will look like another style of Japanese calligraphy called marumoji. So after it scoops downward to the left, it moves down about the thickness of the pen, and then move downward to the right. If you do that, this turning point won't be too sharp like this, or too round like this. And it will look perfect amount of sharpness and roundness that properly express beauty of curve and softness that are unique to Hiragana. From the turning point, it moves downward to the right, while curving up, until a point at which the space above the starting point of the stroke and the space below the end point of the stroke are almost the same size. Then the character is placed in the center of the square box, so it looks more balanced and beautiful. As you can see, the end point is to the right of the starting point of the stroke. For instance, if you create the stroke like this, when both the starting and ending point are on the middle vertical line, the bottom half of the stroke will look too short for the entire character. On the other hand, if you make the stroke like this, and when the end point is too far right from the starting point, the bottom half of the stroke will look too long for the entire character, and it won't look balanced and beautiful either. So try to aim a point somewhere between these two, and somewhere around here. Since this character has a simple shape, its entire look changes depending on the angle of the lines. For example, if you create the stroke like this, when the angle is about 45 degrees, the entire character might look a bit too wide. But if you make the stroke like this, when the angle is closer to the middle vertical line, the entire character will look too narrow and doesn't look stable. So I normally try to create the upper half of the stroke at an angle of about 60 degrees and adjust the lower half to match it, making sure that the entire character looks stable and stands straight up. Alright, keep these points and tips in mind when you practice. The key points for writing Hiragana characters, as explained in the video, are concisely summarized in this book in a similar manner. The book allows you 3 pages to practice each character. It can be purchased on Amazon. See the link in the description. I'm gonna practice 1 page of this workbook this time, but you're welcome to practice as much as you want. If you're practicing with a pen, I recommend that you place a few pieces of paper under the page that you're writing on, so that the ink doesn't bleed onto the page under it. Alright, let's get started. Before you start writing, take a deep breath and clear your mind. Slowly breathe in as much air as you can through your nose, and exhale all the negative emotions that you've been holding until this moment through your mouth. When you're mentally ready to write, you can start writing. Check the starting point, turning point, end point, the angle of the stroke, the direction of the curve. After that, without hesitation, aim for the end point and move the pen smoothly. Try to write much slower than you normally write, putting your heart and soul into each stroke. However, if you move the pen too slowly, the lines will become shaky. And if you move the pen too quickly, the lines will become thinner in areas you don't want them to be thinner. So concentrate on finding the right speed. Once you've finished writing the character, look at the character as a whole and think about what changes you should make next in order to make it look even more beautiful. Of course, you don't have to take all the tips and points that I've told you and copy my way of writing the character. Trust your own sense of beauty and adjust accordingly. It's important that you're satisfied with the shapes of the characters you write. So please use my tips and points as ideas and hints for adjusting the shape of the character to your sense of beauty. Of course, you can't change the shape so much that it no longer looks like a character. If you notice that you're thinking about something else while writing, immediately refocus on what you're writing. By repeating this exercise, you'll be able to notice when your attention starts to turn to something unrelated to your current action, and gradually improve your concentration and self-control. You can also build your patience with this practice. So, let's practice together. It's just natural that we are unable to create perfectly satisfying strokes every time. Instead of blaming yourself for not being able to make strokes that you want, try praising yourself for taking on difficult challenges. Alright? Let's learn and practice together again in my next video. Thank you for watching.